Assalamualaikum warahmatollahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. Today we would like to share some practical tips for Toeic listening part 1, photographs. To begin our presentations, please allow us to introduce ourselves. I'll start first. My name is Iska Ayu Cahyaningrum.
My name is Ghea Febriani.
My name is Mezzaluna Armudya.
My name is Salsabila.
And I'm Eka Syifa Febriani. Now we will begin our presentation on Toeic listening part 1, photograph.
In Toeic listening part 1, what do you deal with? In Toeic listening part 1, you will see 1 photograph and then hear 4 short sentences. Your job is to choose the sentence that best match the photo. First, look at the whole picture and notice people, objects, and the place. Try to find the main actions quickly. Who is doing something, what they do, and where they are. Do not focus on tiny details. At first, find the main idea. Next, what you do? Listen. Listen carefully what the audio plays because in the real test, the audio plays only once. When you listen, match the words you hear to what you saw. If the sentence mentions a small object or a prepositions like on or under, check the picture to see if that word fits. Finally, choose the sentence that fits the picture best. This part tests both your ability to see details and your ability to understand short-spoken sentences quickly. Keep your eyes on the picture until the audio starts. Then trust your first impression and answer.
I will explain the task flow and timing. Before the audio starts, scan the picture quickly and note the main subject, their action, the setting, and any clear objects. Spend about 3 to 5 seconds on the scan. Look for people, tools, furniture, or signs that show what is happening. When the audio plays, listen, watch, and trust your first understanding. Do not spend too long thinking about small details. If you hear a sentence that matches the main action, choose it. If you are unsure, cross out answer that clearly do not match the picture and pick the most plausible option left. Use elimination fast, remove choice that mention object not in the picture, the wrong number of people, or impossible action. Remember that time is limited, so decide fast and move on the next question. Practicing with a timer helps. Try short drills where you look at picture for 5 seconds and then answer after one audio play. This trains your eye to find the main action and your ear to catch the keywords.
And I will talk about the language used in the test. Listen for simple language form in this part. Most sentences use the present continuous tense. For example, is or are plus verb ing, because they describe action happening now. Sentences are usually short and use everyday word, so focus on verb and objects. Also check pronouns and number. If the picture shows one person, the sentence use he or she. If it shows many people, it should use they. Small words like in, on, and at are important because they tell where things are. So, listen for them carefully. Preposition often decide the correct answer. On the table is different from under the table. Pay attention to verb that describe movement or position. Walking, sitting, holding, cleaning, reading. These verbs usually match clear visual cues. When you practice, say the sentence in your head as you look at the picture. He is reading or they are walking. This habit helps you match grammar and number quickly during the test.
Inference and common traps. Use the picture to guide your choice and be careful with answers that add things not shown. Sometimes you must read a little more than what you see. For example, mood or purpose, but only when the picture gives a clear hint. For example, a tired face or a coffee cup may suggest a break, but do not assume details that are not visible. Watch for similar verbs such as cleaning versus holding or writing versus painting. These look like verbs are common traps. Distractors are answer choices that sound right but do not match the exact action in the picture. They often use words related to the scene but not the main action. Always check the picture for direct evidence before you choose. If the picture shows a person with clothes near a window, cleaning the window is likely correct. If the person only holds the clothes without mention, the sentence holding a clothes might be better. Ask yourself, what do I actually see? And avoid adding extra details.
I will close with elimination tips and practice habits. Now we will begin our presentation on Toeic listening part 1 for the graph. Start by removing options that clearly do not match the picture, such as wrong objects, wrong number of people, or impossible actions. After elimination, compare the remaining choices and pick the one that is most directly shown in the picture. Not just possible. Keep calm and keep a steady pace. Do not try to make one question perfect if it costs time for others. Practice listening to each picture only once to train your ear and speed. Build a habit. Look first, listen, then answer. Train with many photos and one listen drill so your brain learns to match visual cues with short spoken sentences quickly. Also, practice noticing small but important words like pronouns and prepositions. Over time, this method reduces hesitation and increases accuracy. Remember, accuracy plus speed wins in this part.
Now we move on the examples. There are 10 questions that we will give. Okay, for question number 1, listen carefully.
A. The woman is wearing glasses. B. There is a note on the keyboard. C. The woman is facing the monitor. D. There is a lamp above the computer.
The correct answer is C. Why? Because if you chose A, it's incorrect because the glasses are on the table. Placement of objects is a common distraction in part 1. If you choose B, it's incorrect because the note is on the monitor, not the keyboard. If you choose D, it's incorrect because the lamp is beside the computer. Prepositions are very common distractors found in part 1. Make sure to review your prepositions of location for the Toeic. Next, question number 2. Listen carefully.
A. The man is on a pathway. B. The mountains are covered with snow. C. The man is carrying a cap. D. The sandals are in the water.
The correct answer is A. Why? Because if you choose B, it's incorrect. Because the mountains do not have any snow on them. It is summertime. You may be asked to distinguish between the seasons in part 1. If you choose C, it's incorrect because the man is wearing a cap. Remember, you will not be able to read the choices in these sections. Wearing and carrying sound similar. Listen carefully, okay? If you choose D, it's incorrect because the sandals are on the man's feet. Both vocabulary words are in the photo, but the context is incorrect.
Let's look at the first image.
A. There are 3 people in the picture. B. You can see the shadow of the barrier on the ground. C. The man is walking away from the camera. D. The street lamps are all on.
We saw a pedestrian walkway along a river featuring historic architecture and a row of street lamps. Option E. There are 3 people in the picture. This is incorrect. If you look closely at the paths, there is only one man visible walking toward us. Option B. You can see the shadow of the barrier on the ground. This is the correct answer. Looking at the right side of the walkway, the sunlight is casting a very clear, distant shadow of the railing or barrier onto the pavement. Option C. The man is walking away from the camera. This is incorrect. The man's body and face are oriented toward the lens, meaning he is walking toward the camera, not away from it. Option D. The street lamps are all on. Since this is a bright, sunny day, the street lamps are switched off. In summary, when analyzing this type of question, it's crucial to focus on objective details such as shadow, physical position, and environmental condition. Now let's move the second image.
A. The man holds a fish in his hand. B. The man is standing between rocks. C. The sea is completely calm. D. You can see several vessels on the horizon.
Which capture a person fishing on a rocky shoreline. Option A. The man holds a fish in his hand. This is incorrect. While the man is fishing, both of his hands are occupied holding the fishing rod. There is no fish visible in his grasp. Option B. The man is standing between rocks. This is the correct answer. We can clearly see the subject positioned in a gap or a space surrounded by large boulders on the coast. Option C. The sea is completely calm. This statement is false. We can see white foam and breaking waves hitting the shore, which indicated the water is choppy, not calm. Option D. You can see several fish on the horizon. This is incorrect. If you look at the horizon line where the sky meets the water, there are no ships or boats visible. The area is empty.
Next, for question number 5.
A. All 3 children are holding onto the bar. B. The girl's feet are touching the ground. C. The children are standing on an escalator. D. The children are holding each other.
Option A says all 3 children are holding on to the bar. In the picture, all 3 children are holding to the bar above their heads. So this statement is true. Option B says the girl's feet are touching the ground. Her feet are not touching the ground, so this option is incorrect. Option C says the children are standing on an escalator. They are clearly playing on playground equipment, not on an escalator. So this option is wrong. Option D says the children are holding each other. They are holding the bar, not each other. So this option is also incorrect. So, the correct answer for question number 5 is option A.
A. Two of the people are wearing black backpacks. B. The baby being held appears to be crying. C. The mountaintops in the background are covered with snow. D. It looks like it's about to rain.
Option A say two of the people were wearing black backpacks. In the picture, we can see two people wearing black backpacks, so this statement is correct. Option B says the baby being held appears to be crying. There's no clear sign that the baby is crying, so this option is incorrect. Option C says the mountain tops in the background are covered with snow. The mountains do not look snowy, so this statement is also incorrect. Option D says it looks like it's about to rain. The weather looks clear with no dark clouds, so this option is incorrect. Therefore, the correct answer is option A.
Now, please look at the picture and listen carefully.
A. He is working on the car in the street. B. The mechanic is beside the automobile. C. The mechanic is looking at the engine. D. The mechanic is checking the computer data.
Okay, now let's check the correct answer together. The correct answer is C. The mechanic is checking the computer data. Why is this correct? Because the main visible action is that the mechanic is using a laptop and looking at the screen. This is clear visual evidence. Now, let's look at the common traps. Looking at the engine sounds logical, but he is not looking at the engine. And working on the car in the street adds information we cannot see. These are distractions. They use familiar words but do not match the exact action. Now, let's move on to the next picture. Again, before the audio plays, focus only on what you can see. Use inference only if the picture gives a strong visual clue. Listen carefully.
A. The doctor is talking with the patient. B. Both people are standing up. C. Patient is younger than the doctor. D. The doctor is listening to the patient's heart.
Now, let's check the correct answer. The correct answer here is A. The doctor is talking with the patient. We can infer this because of body position, eye contact, and face expression. These are clear clues that suggest conversation. Be careful with traps like listening to the patient's heart. Even though a stethoscope is visible, it is not being used, so we should not assume that action. So remember, describe what is clearly happening, watch out for similar verbs and familiar objects. Distractor often sound right, but add action not show.
Now, let's look at question number 9.
A. The picture shows the facade of a modern office block. B. The solar energy panels are turned towards the sun. C. Some of the panels seem to be broken. D. You can't see any shadows in the picture.
In this picture, we can see several solar panels outside. The sun is shining brightly and the panels are facing in one direction, and shows that the solar panels are turned towards the sun. So, the correct answer is B. Option A is wrong because this is not a modern office building. Option C is also incorrect because the panels do not look broken. And option D is wrong because we can clearly see shadows in the picture. In Toeic Part 1, always focus on what is clearly visible in the picture. Next, let's move on to question number 10.
A. Both fighters are standing upright. B. Both fighters are sitting in easy chairs. C. One of the fighters is riding a bike. D. You can see one of the fighters holding his épée.
In this picture, we can see two fighters wearing protective gear. They are sitting in wheelchairs and facing each other. One of the fighters is holding an épée, or fencing sword. So, the correct answer is D. Option A is incorrect because they are not standing upright. Option B is wrong because they are not sitting in easy chairs. Option C is also wrong because no one is riding a bike in this picture. Be careful with similar words. Wheelchair is very different from chair.
Thank you for listening to our tips. Remember the simple steps. Look carefully at the picture. Listen once and trust your first understanding. Eliminate clearly wrong answers and choose the sentence that best matches what you see. Practice these steps often with timed drills so you become faster and more confident. Good luck with your Toeic practice. Bye bye!